35 this morning. The next high tide at Auckland is at 20 past 11 this morning and at Onehunga at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Today in Auckland, expect showers with possible thunderstorms and hail, easing this evening though. Westerlies gusting to 90 k's an hour in possible thunderstorms. Tomorrow, find then a few showers developing in the morning at a high of 18 degrees. The overnight low is 11. Right now we're sitting on 17.
Discussing the big issues that matter to you. Kerre Woodham Mornings with Pinnacle Life's multi-award-winning life insurance online advice tool. Newstalk ZB.
Newstalk ZB, it is 7 past 10. A very good morning to you. This hour I'm joined by Education Minister Erica Stanford, who will be taking your questions. You can send them through via text on 9292, or you can call us now. 0800 80 10 80. If you don't ring, that's absolutely fine. I have questions. I have many questions. Very good morning to you, Minister.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you for clearing time in your diary. I know it took a bit of toing and froing and you're very busy. You've got a lot on.
There's a fair bit going on at the moment, but it's always nice to see you.
Okay. Now, leading One News last night, a group of 89 secondary school principals are saying, oi, put the brakes on for replacing the NCEA school qualification. There was an open letter to you and Acting Secretary for Education, Alan McGregor-Reid. The plan lacks a clear rationale and poses huge risks for disadvantaged students. How many secondary school principals do we have in the country?
There's about 500 secondary schools.
So do you presume that only 89 are dissatisfied and the other 400 odd are happy?
There'll be a range of views. I know that when we announced this proposal, and remember it's just a proposal, we're out for consultation and genuine consultation, we knew there'd be a range of views. But what I don't accept is that there's no rationale. There has been an enormous amount of work done by NZQA, our qualifications authority, to show what the makeup of standards has been that young people are doing, and many of those are very low quality unit standards and a range of different standards pushed together that don't really give them a deep, meaningful pathway in any one subject. So we can see that there are problems. And you also saw ERO come out and say 70% of employers do not value the qualification. 60% of teachers don't value level 1, and half of parents don't understand it. 2 out of 5 kids don't understand it. So I think there was a very good rationale for us to take a look at it. Also remembering we were already in the middle of a change process. The Labor had already started. They'd put in place new level 1. There was no option to do nothing. We had to either continue to roll out Labor's plan or we had to look at what a better plan would be, and that's what we've done.
Was that the first time they'd seen it when it was announced? That was a criticism made by one of the principals. I hadn't seen One News for years and years and years. I watched it last night because I knew you were coming in. I'm like, wow, they take a strong view, don't they? They have an opinion.
Look, she certainly did, and it's a shame that she didn't interview some of the other principals who have the opposing view, because there are many of them who are very keen to see us raise standards, but not only raise standards, make sure that those young people, we're raising their achievement level to meet this. This NCEA change package didn't come out of nowhere. It's part of an enormous reform package, and your listeners will have seen us with our structured literacy, structured maths, explicit teaching, that huge reform package that's happening in primary and intermediate to raise the level of literacy and numeracy and achievement so that when those children get to high school, what is possible? Do we need to continue to lower the bar of NCEA? No, we don't. We can actually be aspirational for these kids because they're at curriculum. It's part of a bigger plan. And I think this poverty of low expectations of, well, just because a child is poor, they can't possibly get a good qualification is the wrong way to look at this.
For years it used to be that a good education was your ticket out of where you came from. If you wanted to get up and out, it was education.
That's exactly right. It is the cloak that we wrap around our young people that changes their circumstances. It is the great equaliser. Yeah. Your means should not determine your destiny. But if we continue to have this low expectation of, we need a flexible NCEA that caters for all students, which is code for we're going to scrape together things to get our kids across the line when they're not literate and they're not numerate. That is not the aspiration I've got, and I think most parents have got for their children. We are focused on raising achievement so they can get a good qualification, and that's the work that we're doing.
And an expectation from the kids themselves. When I leave school, I want to have options. I want to have been given options so I can decide what I want to do with my life, not be
and
flotsam and jetsam.
Those kids know. I've seen them commenting on Facebook like, oh yeah, I got 4 credits for crawling through some mud and that was counted as team building. I got some points for working in a group. I got some credits for making a coffee. They know.
They're gaming.
They know. And we need to have higher expectations for them because when we do, they rise to meet them.
Yeah, they do. All right, I'll go to our caller. I have more questions. Sharma, good morning to you.
A very good morning, and good morning to Minister Erica.
Good morning.
I just got one comment before and a question. The comment is, congratulations on a very bold move. There needs to be some level of change. I got a 15-year-old daughter in school, and I'm very concerned about the education curricula. But the question I have, Minister, is that you mentioned that it's currently under consultation process. Is that a consultation with a specific group of people, or are you going to have a general public consultation process?
Excellent question, and I wish I had the URL on me. I don't, but if you Google Ministry of Education NCEA reform, you will find that there is a public consultation document open, and it is targeted at parents, students, teachers, principals and employers. So we're after everyone's opinion, and I need everyone to log on and have their say. It doesn't take long. It's quite a good document that lays out the case for change, lays out some of the issues, and it prompts a whole lot of questions. And there's a lot of boxes for open-ended answers as well. So yes, please, we need everybody to have their say, especially employers. I got a halfway mark the other day about how many we're up to, and we're really lagging behind in the number of employers who haven't had their say. Lots of parents, lots of teachers, but not so many employers. So great question.
We'll get the address before the end of the show so that you can do it. Have you got Labor's spokesperson for education? Have you met yet?
Look, Willow Jean has had a briefing from my officials where she grilled them, which was really good. Lots of questions. What I'm waiting on now from her is her feedback. I don't expect Labor to go through the URL and go through the the website. What I expect from them is now to bring me back their suggestions and proposals and what their constructive view is on how we could strengthen the proposal. So she's met with them. I think she's overseas for a while. Then when she comes back, I will meet with her in person to get that
kind of feedback. All right, and we'll just can I squeeze in a quick question before we go to the break? Yes, I can. Marie, good morning to you.
Hello.
Hi there.
My question is around the young people, and I am a youth worker and I work with lots of young people, and I've been speaking to some of my friends recently, and some of them have come from different countries and they're migrants now here, and they talk about how when they came here and they sit in school, they didn't learn anything because they had already learnt it when they had come from their other schools in their other countries. And I just want to ask the Minister if I grew up here in New Zealand, and I want to ask her if the plans that she is proposing is going to help our young people to be able to have influence and have better careers and stuff and be able to help grow New Zealand more, or if it is just going to continue to, when immigrant students come here, they're just going to be a bit, I don't know, it's kind of embarrassing, that our friends have come and just kind of sat here. So I'm just wondering what the Minister's aspirations are for our kids that are here growing up here in New Zealand.
Thanks, Marie.
Yeah, look, one of the things that we noticed was that when we internationally benchmarked our curriculum and our expectations against other countries we like to compare ourselves to, we are well behind.
Yeah.
And so you're absolutely right. When those migrant children or young people come, even when New Zealanders have travelled overseas and lived overseas for a number of years with their children, the feedback I get is they come back to New Zealand and the standards are far lower. Now, we want our young people to be able to operate on the world stage and go and get jobs overseas and compete with other young people, and we can't do that if the learning that they're doing isn't at the same level. So what we've been doing with the new curriculum that we're building is internationally benchmarking it line by line to make sure that everything is on par with other countries. Now, and many listeners who might have children at primary school will have noticed this year. They will have had a notice from their school that the primary school maths curriculum has jumped up. And it's done that because we internationally benchmarked it. We realised that we were leaving far too much information and material till the end of primary school. We needed to bring it back earlier. So they've all been told that, if your child was ahead before, maybe they'll be at curriculum now. Or if they were at before, they might be slightly below. It's not your child, it is curriculum expectations. But if we, again, want to be internationally comparative and competitive, we need to be benchmarking, and that's what we're doing. So, yeah, very good question.
I picked up the 6-year-old this week. How was your day? Oh, good. We're doing statistics and maths. What? And the 8-year-old was like, we only did statistics last year. How come you're doing it this? I'm like, statistics.
Yeah.
Loving it. Absolutely loving it.
Yep. They are capable of so much more than what we've been doing, and it's really exciting, this new curriculum.
We'll take a short break. We'll be back with your questions in just a moment. Good question so far. Newstalk ZB 1017.
Got a minute? Get the news that matters. Play Newstalk ZB on iHeartRadio.
Massive kitchen appliance offer at Harvey Norman. Get up to $1,000 bonus gift card when you purchase 2 or more eligible kitchen appliances. Minimum spend applies, exclusions, terms and conditions apply. See store for details. Shop Harvey Norman for big brand kitchen appliances today.
Go! Getting your home looking its best is easy because Danske Møbler Furniture is having a bestsellers sale. Enjoy best price savings on their best-selling designs for every room. At Danske Møbler, furniture for living.
Just when you thought it was safe to hang up the helmet and park the bike, the Lycra is back, and it's tighter than ever. I'm Mark Hadlow, back in the saddle at Wayne in Gommel, Grumpy Old Man in Lycra, the long-awaited sequel to Mammal, Middle-Aged Man in Lycra. 10 years older, none the wiser, and still peddling in the peloton. It's grumpy, it's poignant, and it's hilariously funny. And I'm bringing it to the Bruce Mason Centre, Auckland, September 27th. Tickets! Shift up a gear and grab yours while you still can at Ticketmaster. Gommel!
Bailey's brings you the latest investment opportunity from Centuria NZ, one of New Zealand's leading and largest property fund managers. Centuria NZ Healthcare Property Fund Limited is the issuer of the shares, and investors get exposure to the sought-after healthcare property sector with long-term leases and a growing income stream. It's a $10,000 minimum investment with distributions paid to investors monthly and the potential for capital growth. For the product disclosure statement, contact 0800 Baileys or visit centuria.co.nz.
Get ready to adore your floor for less with Flooring Extra's Spring Sale on now. Here's your chance to save on their range of best-selling carpet, laminate, timber, LVT and chic vinyl. And to take the stress away, you can enjoy 24 months interest-free. Discover what suits your space and your budget. Visit your local Flooring Extra showroom for expert advice you can rely on. TC's fees and credit criteria apply.
Flooring Extra. Adore your floor.
In times of crisis, you come together to protect family and friends, providing care and compassion when they need you most. If you want a world where everyone has the right to safety and security, remember UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, in your will. Your gift will ensure protection and hope for refugee families well into the future. It could even help save lives. Please go online and search UN Refugees.
Digging in to get to the heart of the story. It's Heather Duplessis-Allen Drive.
Greg Foran has delivered his final profit as the boss of Air New Zealand. As a guy leaving an industry where it is really tough to the point that we have regional airlines asking for help, what would be your advice to the government?
If we want airlines to operate in really remote locations, they're going to need a hand.
Heather Duplessis-Allen Drive with One New Zealand. Back today at 4, only on Newstalk ZB.
Newstalk ZB. I've got a question from Rachel, a concerned mother. Kia ora, Kerre. Can you please ask the Minister why on earth they're scrapping outdoor education as a subject? It's what keeps many children at school. It's good for their mental health as well as their physical health.
Well, we haven't made any announcements on the curriculum yet. We've been in discussions about what sort of curriculum areas we should have. No decisions have been made. I haven't announced them yet. And we've been out consulting with different groups and listening, and I know that outdoor education will play an important part of the new curriculum. It's where we put it. So there will be some announcements shortly, but there's no need to panic just yet. What we're essentially doing is going through the curriculum and understanding how many children are actually taking that subject or parts of that subject, and currently is it made up of standards or is it made up of unit standards? Should it sit in an academic standard? Should it sit in vocational? So it's not so much about scrapping things, it's about saying where does it sit? Because the old NCEA allowed the flexibility, allowed teachers to pull together lots of different standards and create something new like outdoor education or criminology, which aren't things that we think are subjects or in our subject list, but they've been created. So now we're going back and going, okay, where do they sit? So you won't see things disappear as much as you will just see them shift somewhere else. So there's no need to panic just yet. I know how engaging outdoor education is, and we've been consulting with lots of different groups. And so we'll be making an announcement in the next couple of weeks about that.
Matt, good morning to you. Did I not ask the question properly about working with Labour?
I was just wondering, is there much agreement for them?
Can't hear you. Speak up, sorry.
Oh, you can't hear me at all?
Better.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, have you got much agreement with them on what you're doing in case these idiots ever get in again and try and demolish it?
Look, thanks for your question and concern. We've just started the process. As you know, I tried to get them to talk to us and consult with us on this back in March, and we only just had Willow Jean Prime in talking to my officials about a week ago. So she's asked lots of questions, but hasn't come back yet with thoughts, or we're only early in the process. I expect that she will. That'll be the next step. She will meet with me and she will talk to me about where she thinks things will need to be strengthened or changed, or I expect her constructive feedback next. I think the first meeting was really about presenting the changes and her asking lots of questions. So we'll see where that goes. But Chris Hipkins has already come out and he said, look, there are problems with NCEA. He's in agreement. Labour tried to fix NCEA already. Level 1 rolled out last year. It was, essentially, if I'm being honest, an unmitigated disaster. It didn't fix any of the problems. It was implemented poorly, and that's what started me on my journey of, well, I don't want to replicate that mess. I want to do something better and implement it better. So the answer is I don't know yet, but I'm very confident given the comments by Chris Hipkins.
You have to feel for the teachers, don't you, who have been given change after change after change within the curriculum. Yep. The curriculum is not their fault.
No, you're absolutely right. And I can understand from principals and teachers who've just been through this level 1 change under the previous government and will have PTSD about it because it was a disaster. But I want to assure them and parents that the reason I got the Education Review Office to do their report was to learn from those mistakes so we don't do them again. That's why you're seeing I brought a group of principals around me to work out how we carefully stage and manage this through. You've got to have the curriculum embedded first, then you put the qualification in place. Now we're moving on very quickly to what does good implementation look like, the resourcing that teachers will need, the planning that they will need, the professional learning and development they will need, potentially the AI tools that they will need. I sat in a meeting for 2.5 hours yesterday talking about the types of amazing technology we can offer our teachers to help them implement the new curriculum. So there is a lot we are going to wrap around. We're not going to say, here's the curriculum, good luck, which is what happened last time.
Newstalk ZB 1024.
This Sleep Timber, get great deals on bedding. Get a massive 50% off selected Timber Pro mattresses. Purchase an Apollo cooling mattress and upgrade to the Elite for just $99. Percentages are off the normal ticketed price. Great deals on bedding this Sleep Timber at Harvey Norman.
Love this track?
Did your boots stop working? Did your truck break down? Did you burn through money? Did you...
Dasher and all your favourite country artists are playing on the new iHeart Country 105.4.
Dinner time feels better in winter. With Whoop's curated food boxes, you can create something warm, nourishing and ready in under 25 minutes, giving you more time to savour life's finest moments.
Just say like this, Whoop.
Serviced apartments are available now at Ryman's Miriam Corbin Village. With daily chef-prepared meals, housekeeping and more, free up your time for what really matters. Support that feels like a treat. Search Miriam Corbin Village.
Yep, 1995 sure was a big year. We won that American Sailing Cup thingy. We got 24-hour TV so we could watch more Xena. And Hootie and the Blowfish was still cool. No, they weren't. But most importantly, 30 years ago, Super Liquor opened their doors in 1995, so you could say cheers to all of that stuff with a fancy Cosmopolitan. Fruity. And right now, we're celebrating with super birthday deals all month.
Cheers to that.
Super Liquor. Cheers to that. TradeDepot.co.nz.
Trade Depot now helps people in Auckland save hundreds on hardware. Mini ball valve just $4. Silicone sealant just $4. Stainless flexi hoses just $3. Gap filler just $2.40. Save hundreds on hardware, tools, plumbing, electrical and paint supplies. Only at Trade Depot in Onehunga or shop online.
TradeDepot.co.nz.
Need to get stuck into that garden? Make it a breeze with a legendary ride from Cub Cadet. Right now at your local Cub Cadet dealer, score 500 days interest-free with zero deposit. Minimum spend $200 lending criteria, T's and C's apply. Whether it's taming lawns or powering through lifestyle blocks, upgrade your mowing game with Cub Cadet. Built tough for Kiwi conditions. Head to cubcadet.co.nz to find your local dealer. Another quality Steel Ford product.
Auckland, 89.4 FM. Kerre, Woodham Mornings. Engaging conversation on Newstalk ZB.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kerre, and good morning, Minister Erica.
Good morning.
How are you?
Great, thank you. How are you?
Good. I just wanted to start off and say to Erica, if I may, just thank you so much for being passionate about education for our kids and the large changes you're trying to make for the kids these days. Can I ask, though, will structured literacy be continued right through up into Year 8 and intermediate? Because my kids have done the structured literacy, and I've seen huge positive changes with their reading and spelling and that.
Oh, a good question. And the answer is yes, it will be. In fact, we just announced last week that we're going to be training structured literacy teachers in intermediates and also in high schools. I think the thing people misunderstand is that structured literacy is just about phonics and teaching a child to read, k, at, cat. That is the basis of it, but it's so much more than that. It's about spelling and grammar and comprehension all the way up and learning the spelling rules. And it should flow all the way through up into intermediate. So the answer to that is yes, and I'm so pleased to hear that it's doing well for your children and their reading and comprehension and spelling. It is very much about the way that it's taught as well. It's taught explicitly. A teacher will model. She'll ask the children to repeat it back to her, then they'll write it, then she writes it, then you say it, then you say it. It's just the most amazing thing to watch in the classroom.
Lorraine, you are in the classroom, are you?
I know. Hi, Kerre. I've retired about 4 years ago, but right. I've taught 40 years, and most of those were in the new entrant Year 1 class. But
thank you for your service.
Erica, I'll say. I think it's knocked years off my retirement, but never mind. There's just one thing about the structured writing for our little new entrants. I don't. Have you spent much time watching structured writing in the new entrant class?
Yes, I have.
My big worry about it is that, like my little 5-year-old granddie, he went to school being able to write, but he is just like rich in language, and he's writing already using ellipses, question marks. He's asking, what do you think when I blah, blah, blah. He's doing all this sort of stuff. He went up to the office and got a certificate for being an author, blah, blah, blah. Within 8 weeks, he would not write. And this is our fear, that the structured writing is tied closely into the reading. So in reading, he's doing oi, O-I, O-Y. It's quite advanced for a little 5-year-old. I found the book quite hard. There was words like awkward, A-W-K, and all these different things. And until he can put that into his writing, he can't progress in his writing. So it's so tightly controlled that he's too scared. And my daughter rang me and said, Mummy won't write at home anymore. And I said, I knew this would happen, because with the bright kids, it does not always work.
Okay.
Yeah, look, the answer to that is that teachers in the classroom should be adapting learning for those bright kids. One of the things that we're trying to achieve with structured literacy is the reading and writing crisis that we have, and we've got to face that head on. I mean, half of our kids are not at curriculum for reading by the time they go to high school.
That's just
it is, and we know that half of them fail literacy assessments at NCEA. So we're trying to solve for that problem, but there are always going to be children like your grandchild who are keen beans, smart kids who are advanced, and they need to be extended in the classroom. And that's why on it's a platform called Taharangi that the ministry run, there are a whole lot of resources available to extend children because they should not be bored, they should not be afraid of writing, and those resources are available. And it's on the ministry, and I'll make sure that we're out with our curriculum advisors pushing that message. Yes, we are trying to accelerate those who are behind and who are turning up to school without rich language and without all those great vocabulary and great writing skills. But on the other hand, we have children who are very advanced and they will get bored very quickly and turned off if we're not extending them. And that is up to the teacher in the classroom with the resources that we're providing. So we'll make sure that message is being put out there via our curriculum advisors, but that shouldn't be happening.
Newstalk ZB 10:32.
Newstalk ZB Auckland. Time saver traffic.
Your car doesn't have to be your one and only. Looking at the southern motorway, it is moderate from Ellerslie through to Green Lane. The northwestern is flowing relatively well, although I do have a possible crash just after St Luke's. If you can update us further, 0800 jammed. Mix your go with buses every 15 minutes from 7 till 7 across 43 bus routes. Time saver traffic.
It's the Specsavers store-wide Specstravaganza. Get any two pairs with single vision lenses for just $299. Save up to $200. Limited time only. Conditions apply. Should have gone to Specsavers.
The Nick Scully winter sale ends Sunday with up to 40% off a huge range of furniture that's affordable design for everyone. Save up to 40% during the winter sale. Ends Sunday at Nick Scully, Lido Park, Mount Wellington and St Luke's.
Continuous Group make quality rainwater systems that stand up to New Zealand's changeable conditions. For over 30 years, we've perfected spouting, fascia and downpipes that you can rely on, whatever the weather. And right now, you'll get a free gutter wand with any new spouting installed, so you can keep New Zealand's best spouting looking and performing its best at your home. For the original continuous spouting installed nationwide, contact your local Continuous Group at continuous.co.nz.
Once I was a dollar who questioned my own existence. Was I even part of the economy? With Pacific Invoice Finance, I am complete. On-time payment is no longer an abstract construct. I am invoiced, therefore I am paid. This is my preferred state of cash flow.
Get your money in and working now. Just call 0800 Invoice or visit pacificinvoicefinance.co.nz.
Does your vacuum cleaner suck? Lawnmower not making the cut? Well, book your Auckland Council inorganic collection today and we could recycle it tomorrow. We collect items on your property and do everything we can to minimise landfill waste. To find out what's accepted, where to place it and how to book your collection, search Auckland Council Inorganics online. All together Auckland. Tāmaki Turiki.
Newstalk ZB headlines.
With Blue Bubble taxis, it's no trouble with a blue bubble. Investigations continue today after what's believed to be a sighting of Marakopa father Tom Phillips and one of his children. CCTV has been released of a shop burglary in the King Country town of Peel Peel. It's a store Phillips is believed to have targeted unsuccessfully in 2023. More information has come to light about the gunman involved in the Minneapolis school shooting, which left 2 children dead. Police say he had a fascination with previous mass shootings. Australian police will scour mines, caves and dugouts today for a fugitive accused of shooting 2 officers dead. Desi Freeman fled into bushland after the shootings in regional Victoria. A landmark ruling in Fiji is being seen as a big win. A court has handed down the country's toughest first ever sentences after 9 people were charged over the importation of 4 tonnes of meth. State Highway 7 between Springs Junction and Lewis Pass is closed because of snow. That same highway between Lewis Pass and the Hamner Springs turnoff is open. What the latest financial results tell us about New Zealand's economic recovery. Find out more at NZ Herald Premium. Now back to Kerre Woodham.
Thank you very much, Susie. Lorraine's a bit grumpy. Nice one, Kerre. Cut me off while Erica blamed the teacher. So poor. Unfortunately, we only have time for a question. I don't think you were blaming the teacher, were you, per se?
No, not at all.
For not extending the grandson.
No, that's my expectations of what should be happening in a classroom. They should be being extended, and that's and actually it's on the ministry to make sure that we are getting that message out there.
As a 45-year teacher and senior manager in secondary education, I believe the Minister is gilding the lily and playing politics with all the criticism and proposed changes. Coming on the back of the strike and wage claim, it's a further imposition on teachers, which doesn't acknowledge what's currently being done and what more is being expected of teachers.
Look, one thing I didn't think I would have to do when I came into politics and came into being the Minister was to replace NCEA. It's certainly not a political thing. I surrounded myself, as I've said, with principals and said to them, here are the challenges. Here's what NZQA are saying. Here's what ERA were saying. We're in the middle of a change process. It's already underway. Labor have already done NCEA level 1. We're about to do 2 and 3. Give me some advice. And the advice came back that this was the direction we should take. It certainly was not political. It came from a group of experienced principals. I mean, I tell you what, my job would be a lot easier if I didn't have to do this.
Yeah.
It's certainly not political at all. But I tell you, if you want a really good statistic, last year in level 1, only 11% of students did all 4 maths standards. So my question is, how on earth are we setting young people up for success at year 12 in mathematics when they don't have all of the knowledge that they need to continue? 11%. These are the types of things. I wasn't constructing anything. I was looking at statistics like that. 30% of students are using unit standards like filling in a form, making a coffee, picking up rubbish to get across the line. That's not gilding the lily. That is statistics that I was faced with, and I took to a group of principals and said, we've already tried to tweak this once, or many times. We've just been through a big change process with Labor. It's not working. What do we do? It was very genuine. They came back with their suggestions, and now we're out for consultation. And it's been going on for a year, this process.
Do you think that some teachers, not all, but some teachers are just tribal because if it comes from national, they're not really that interested, they're ideologically opposed to what you might come up with?
I think all teachers want the very best for their students, and it's all coming from a good place. And I know that in many schools they've got challenges and issues with the levels of poverty in their communities. And I understand where they're coming from. And also it is a huge change, but I want them to know that we will be standing beside them. Not only will we be making sure that the students that are coming through are getting the wraparound support they need, and you can see that in my maths action plan and the fact that next year we've got tutoring for 34,000 intermediate students to get them up to standard. 150,000 students next year will get writing support at intermediate. So when they hit high school, they will be more prepared at curriculum so they can get a qualification that's meaningful. But also to those teachers, we will wrap around you. We've got a plan, and you can go online and have your say about the rollout and the timing of the curriculum and the qualification. We will be providing curriculum days, professional learning and development, all of the resources that you need, all of the planning that you need. We're listening to feedback about what teachers need to make this successful. I understand and I know that big change can be confronting, but we are here to walk beside you, is my message.
I have had so many callers tell me over the years about spending money they simply do not have, but they're finding from, making sacrifices themselves to send their primary and secondary school age kids to, those number works and the after-school tutoring programs, because they knew the curriculum was failing their children. The kids knew that they were failing. And then with that kind of one-on-one tutoring, they were able to get the skills they needed. Is this going to be able to replace a lot of the shoring up of deficiencies that parents could see.
That's what I am striving to do. Raise achievement, close the equity gap so that you don't need to have after school lessons or use every dollar that you have to send your child to a private school or whatever you consider to be the thing that you need to do to get your child across the line. And it bothers me about all of this after school tuition, because what it's doing is further exacerbating that equity gap that we have. You look at all of our PISA results, all of the international studies show that we have the biggest gap between the top performing kids and the bottom performing kids in the OECD. And it is stubborn and it is widening and it is not getting any better. And that's why this huge reform program is underway. Structured literacy, structured maths. We've trained 30,000 teachers in structured literacy, 20,000 teachers in structured maths. That will happen every single year. We will continue to do this and roll it out. We've got 100,000 maths books went out to classrooms. We've changed to explicit teaching in the classroom, single cell classrooms. We're not building any more of these open plan classrooms. It is a complete and utter shift in how and what we are teaching, a brand new curriculum year by year, internationally benchmarked, to leave nothing to chance. So if your child is at school in Devonport compared to Invercargill, they will have the same curriculum, the same expectations. We will be reporting to parents twice a year using progression monitoring assessments that come into force next year. I've got 6 priority areas that we're lifting all at once to make sure that these children, when they go to school, they get the very best. So you won't need to send your child to after school care or after school, tutoring to supplement what they're not getting in the classroom.
Newstalk ZB, it is 17 to 11.
At BNZ, your small business gets big benefits, like no monthly fees for your everyday business account. Search BNZ Big Small Business Package now. Bank of New Zealand. Let's find a way. Business first transact account opening criteria. T's and C's and fees may apply.
TVNZ Plus brings you trusted business news from around the world, including 2 24-hour channels, Bloomberg TV for live global market updates.
We've got a lot to digest today.
And Bloomberg Originals.
It will be exciting.
Streaming now on TVNZ Plus.
Hey, are you cycling this weekend?
Yeah, heading out tomorrow.
Okay, remember to have a
Eh?
Yeah, go hard, but have a first. And wear all that fancy protective gear you've got. Because you're the best with getting the kids to help in the community garden, and we're going to need all hands on deck if we're going to get those tomatoes as big as last year.
Yeah, those tomatoes were like volleyballs. Will do.
If you get injured and can't help in the community, it affects others. So have a and think, if you get hurt, who gets harmed? Find out more at acc.co.nz.
Thinking about using video to connect with your customers? We make it easy. Whether video's all totally new to you, you just want to shake things up, or you already have an idea you want to see come to life. Scripting, filming, editing, we've got you covered. Email vision@nzme.co.nz today and let's get video working for you. That's vision@nzme.co.nz. Proudly powered by New Zealand Media and Entertainment.
Now everyone can save thousands on kitchen, bathroom and laundry renovations with Trade Depot. Fridge freezers just $2.99. Washing machines just $2.99. Dishwashers just $2.99. Ovens just $2.99. Shop online or in store at Trade Depot, Nielsen Street, Onehunga. With minimum spends, you can get free home delivery anywhere in Auckland. T's and C's apply.
TradeDepot.co.nz.
Sotheby's International Realty has the world's largest luxury referral network with the ability to expose your property like no other. With our unparalleled global distribution and the world's leading residential website, our national offices achieve some of the highest residential sales records in New Zealand. With qualified buyers waiting to view your property, list with New Zealand's premier real estate company and achieve exceptional results. New Zealand Sotheby's International Realty, the only ones with true worldwide connections. Licensed REAA 2008.
Have your say on the big stories of the day. It's Kerre Woodham Mornings with pinnaclelife.co.nz. Easy online life insurance. Newstalk ZB.
Megan, good morning to you.
Good morning. Hello.
You've got a question?
Yes, I do. I'm a early childhood centre owner, and I have been quite concerned for some time now as we've sort of engaged with some new entrants teachers about the lack of skill that our new 5-year-olds have got when they come out of early childhood into the primary school sector. And it's been a bit of a concern. So we, at our centre, we've actually engaged ex-primary school teacher to help work with our teachers, to help them with this new structured literacy and making sure we're preparing our children well enough so when they go to school that they're not going to feel incompetent or not have the skills, or the teacher's not starting right at the beginning with them. So my question is, because I know there's a lot of early childhood centres out there that aren't doing any sort of early literacy or numeracy. So is there anything going to be put in place to help upskill early childhood centres to help our younger children when they go into this primary sector?
Firstly, can I say, it does make sense. Can I say thank you so much for what you've done and by employing that teacher to get your little wee ones ready for school. That's just amazing. And it's one of the things I've been looking at and we are considering is the fact that we've got so many 5-year-olds who are turning up to school who have the oral language of a 2-year-old and they have been to ECE. Many of them haven't as well, but you know they can't hold a pen. They're unable to sit on a mat and take instruction. They're not ready for school, and we spend, the government spends a lot of money on early childhood education. And what are the expectations we should have? And it sounds, Megan, like you know exactly what they are. But what I guess the question for us and what we're looking at is what is the expectation we should have as a government of 5-year-olds who are entering school when they've come out of ECE, that they should be able to recognise their name, understand that letters make sounds, hold a book up the right way, take their jumper off, have a conversation with an adult to ask what they need, that they're toilet trained. So there's a number of expectations. And so that's my starting point of looking at, okay, what are the expectations that we should put back on ECE centres? And then the next question is, how does it fit into the curriculum and into Te Whariki? And I think that it probably does all fit in there. And then your question then is, well, then what do you need to help get those young people, or those young New Zealanders, up to where they need to be? And so that's something that we'll consider. But we've done quite a bit already. So you will have seen Kōwhiti Whakapai, which is the literacy and numeracy tool that is now in early childhood centres. We launched that last year. And also in this year's budget, there was a significant amount of money for early literacy, the Enrich program, which is helping early learning centres to understand how to have rich interactions and conversations and elicit responses from young people to build their oral language. There's quite a bit going on, but there's certainly more to do, and we're thinking about what school readiness looks like.
What are your expectations of parents?
Well, that's a good question. Well, my expectation of parents, and it's the easiest and most simple thing they can do, is to speak to their children. And that sounds like an odd thing to say. But all of the research shows, right from when they're a baby, eye contact, so that they're looking into your eyes and you are speaking to them, and then when they are old enough to respond, that you're eliciting a response. That builds rich oral early language, and that is the most important thing anyone can do, and it's free and it's simple and it doesn't take long every day to build their oral language. They will be successful at school in literacy and in numeracy. Their social and emotional regulation will be better. But in the age of devices and screens, kids are being served, or young 2, 3, 4-year-olds are being served words, but they're not eliciting a response, so they're not talking. And that's the most important thing parents can do. And my plea to parents everywhere, if you've got a toddler, is elicit a response from them and talk to your children. All the research shows how important it is.
Newstalk ZB 10 to 11.
Are high dental costs stopping you from smiling? We've got the solution. Hi, Jackie from Dental Destinations. Imagine affordable, world-class dental care while enjoying a dream holiday in Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia or Bali. Our trusted clinics offer savings of 30 to 50% off New Zealand prices. We take the fear away, handling everything so you feel confident every step of the way. And if you need support after your home, our Auckland clinic is here for you. Discover a brighter smile today. dentaldestinations.co.nz.
A good dishwasher is a great investment with returns in time and efficiency. This week, Magnus Benro have the Fisher & Paykel Underbench dishwasher, a great investment at $1,277. Being Fisher & Paykel, it does what it does very well. 7 different wash programs from light to heavy, program modifiers like Dry Plus if you hate those little splashes when you unpack the dishwasher, and half load if you want to run it, but it's not full. It's also Wi-Fi enabled, which means you can use a smartphone app to control it remotely and get notifications. Being an underbench model, here's the bit that's often very important. It will sit under your bench and fit flush with the cabinetry for a seamless look. The aesthetic is another thing Fisher & Paykel does very well. Take a look, the Fisher & Paykel Underbench dishwasher, just $1,277 this week at Magnus Benro, Green Lane, Constellation or the North Shore, magnusbenro.co.nz.
Well, I better head off to bed. Coming?
Better not snore.
Better wear earplugs.
Better get a new girlfriend.
Hey!
Try some Better Sleep mouth tape.
Better tell me more.
It's comfortable, easy to use, even better, it helps prevent snoring.
Better work.
Comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Better get some.
Better Sleep Mouth Tape, now available at Chemist Warehouse and selected Unichem and Life pharmacies. Use as directed. Better Sleep Limited Nelson.
Buying or selling gold or silver? Deal with the company that has a solid reputation. Regal Bullion. Trading for over 40 years and primary distributor for the Perth Mint. Regal Bullion. 0800 881 888.
Hi, Stephen from Ian Hunt Flooring. Right now, we have up to 50% off laminate flooring and Italian porcelain tiles, with thousands of metres to clear. Only from Ian Hunt Flooring, Albany and Mount Wellington.
Ian Hunt Flooring.
Newstalk ZB, man, we're almost at the end. Sasha, quick question from you.
Yes, I know we haven't got much time. Just quickly, I've got one kid who's been through NCEA and one child still in the system. And whilst I understand how the credits for sort of very everyday things, are probably not hitting the bill, the actual core subjects, I think, what components of NCEA will carry through to the next system? Are we going to go strictly to an exam-only program? Because I have found for my kids, the fact that they can plan out, a group working activity, internal assessments, as well as an external assessment, it's kind of a really great package, and it gets them to sort of work through the process all year round.
Yep.
And I just wonder which components will kind of be kept, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and you're absolutely right. We don't want to be moving to an exam-only situation, and that was floated by a few principals I saw out there. But we took the best aspects of NCEA, and one of those is children being able to show what they know and can do during the year in internal assessment. So there will be a combination. I think that the key thing that was missing before, though, was they could all skip exams, and there will be the requirement to do, if the subject suits it, an exam, but it will only be a component of a much broader package of internal assessment so that they can do all of these rich learning tasks during the year. So that will be kept. Vocational pathways have been kept. We're not scaling, so if you pass, you pass. But I think that the key misunderstanding that I think parents grapple with, I certainly did before I became the minister, was that core subjects are not core subjects across the country. So you might find, you're doing English, but in one school you're doing 2 English standards, and in another school you're doing all 4. In another school you might be doing 3. So it's not consistent, and it's not deep, rich learning in each core subject area. So that's one of the key changes of the proposal, is that English will be a written curriculum that every school will follow, and every student will learn the same curriculum and all of the deep, rich learning within that curriculum area and be assessed against it. And that's the key change of this whole proposal to set kids up for success.
Neurodivergency, a lot of questions from parents of neurodivergency worried that their kids will be left behind.
Something we've also been thinking carefully about, because there are more and more children that are showing signs of ADHD or autism or other dyslexia, dyspraxia. I mean, there's a lot of things, and we have to make sure that they are set up for success. Part of our reform package is structured literacy, structured maths, which was designed for dyslexic children and neurodiverse children. But when you're looking at NCEA, we are also making sure that it's flexible. so that there is internals and externals, and when they are having to sit exams, that there are special assessment conditions. We already have special assessment conditions, so reader writers, extra time. There's a whole lot of things that we offer to give young people with neurodiversity success in their exams. 20% of them use those special assessment conditions. I've already tasked NZQA with finding out what is gold standard, best in practice around the entire world, what more can we do to make sure that if we are saying that an examination will be part of a big package of internals and externals, that we're setting these kids up for success too.
Yeah, and I think the teacher aides, what are we doing there?
We just announced the biggest learning support package in a generation at this budget, $750 million. Of a lot of that is into teacher aides, into learning support, more OARs, which is your very high needs children. So there is a huge package. There'll be an extra 2 million teacher aid hours by 2028. So huge amount of resource going in there.
So we could have done 3 hours with you, I think.
I'll come back. It was
great.
It was really
you come
great.
back, I know it's hard for you. I know you're busy, but I think our listeners, our callers our parents, our grandparents, our teachers would love to hear more from you, and you know how to answer a question, which is great. We're going to leave with Green Day and Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Your song choice because you love Green Day. Who doesn't love Green Day? Newstalk ZB, thank you very much for your questions. It is 9 to 11. No, it's not. Sorry, I went through the old system for maths. It's actually 3 to 11.